welcome to another tier ranking, and welcome to my part 2 of the ultimate horror movie tier ranking. My last one, I did Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Friday the 13th, Chucky, all the big ones. This one is a little different. These are big franchises, obviously, but not as big as the last one. And again, I might do a part 3 because there's so many big horror franchises out there. This one is the Jeepers Creepers movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, Saw, I Know What You Did Last Summer. So, a little different. Will there be an S tier? Who knows? But these are definitely more on the B tier list, maybe, of some of the horror franchises. But I did the big ones. I thought I'd do some of the, again, pretty big ones, but just not as big as like a Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street or even Scream. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm gonna do Evil Dead first. First Evil Dead. I think it's a classic. I think it's dated, but it's got great practical effects. It's a low budget horror film, and it's really good for an 80s low budget horror film. Bruce Campbell is probably the best in the movie. Everyone else is kind of mediocre. There's some corniness to it, but just as like a fun like Living Dead kind of movie, with these just teenager or college students going up to a cabin, and the undead is coming to kill them and stuff. It's fun. It's a fun, low budget, silly horror film, and yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit. It's very, very good. Evil Dead 2, though, that's an A tier right there. Like Evil Dead 2, again, Evil Dead 2 has its silliness and dated moments, but oh my god, this is one, it got much more of a sense of humor. It's very, very funny. It's just it's almost like amazing because of Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. He's just so freaking likable and just so charming, and just he's just so over the top, and it's a lot of fun to watch him in this movie. And Evil Dead 2 is it's just such a blast to watch, especially during the Halloween season. And it's hard not to love Evil Dead 2. Same with Army of Darkness. I'm gonna go A tier with Army of Darkness. It's just a fun movie. It's more or less horror, more action, but nevertheless, it's still a really fun time. Groovy. Um, the Evil Dead remake, I'm gonna put it almost near the same as Evil Dead because I like that it basically took away the sense of humor and just became like a straight bloody horror film. Some of it is predictable with very cliched characters and stuff, but I really love the lead girl. She's a great final girl. There's some actually pretty terrifying scenes in the movie. It may not have the charm of the original, but I think it's a lot more scarier and a lot more creative. But again, it has its issues, so I'll put it next to the original Evil Dead, but it's good. Also, I'm gonna put Ash versus the Evil Dead in the B tier. Again, it's got its issues, but again, Bruce Campbell, he makes this show just a blast to watch. So yeah, that's the Evil Dead movies. All right, I'm gonna talk about. Let's do I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Know What You Did Last Summer is not a very good movie, but it is a very fun movie to watch nevertheless. So where do I put it? Fuck it. I'll put it in the C tier. It's not good at all, and there's a lot of flaws with the movie, but it's kind of like a Halloween nostalgic guilty pleasure. I grew up with this movie and I watched it all the time as a kid and even as a teenager. I have a soft spot for it, even though it's a bad movie, but it's like a guilty pleasure sort of thing. The sequel is just awful, though. It makes absolutely no sense, and neither does the I Always Know What You Did Last Summer. And the television show, I watched 2 episodes and turned it off because it was pure garbage. So yeah, just the first one, just the first one. All right, let's get to Saw, the first Saw movie. Where is the first Saw? First Saw movie. is, see, I'm not a Saw fan. I'm not a fan of this franchise. It's never been a franchise I ever liked or even really got into that much. The first one does have that claustrophobic feel. I love that it's like just these two characters and stuff. I like Tobin Bell as Jigsaw. There's some creative like kills and stuff, and there's actual tension in the movie. But again, there's some pretty bad acting, some pretty sloppy writing, and just I don't know. It's just not the kind of horror movies I like. I don't really get into these kind of movies and stuff. But yeah, Saw 2, I'll go see as well for Saw 2. It's very similar to the first one, just with more characters. There's a lot more corny characters and really dumb things. It relies on its traps and its violence. But there's some cool stuff in it. Even in Saw 3, I'll even put Saw 3 at a C tier as well. Like Saw 3 has an interesting story about like this guy who like lost his child, and he's doing these saw traps to either save or not save the people all responsible for his son's death. And it's pretty interesting. The ending is really stupid, but it's kind of an interesting concept. Saw 4 kind of lost me. I'm just like, ugh, no, okay. Like, intertwining these stories and all that, and just it was getting confusing, and just I don't know, just didn't like it very much. Didn't like it. Same with Saw 5, and and Saw 6. Oh gosh, yeah, like they just become like torture porn movies, and I know there's a fan base for it. That's cool and all. They're just not my shtick. I love this. I think Saw 3D, that's like the final chapter. I think it's the worst one, but it has my favorite moment in all of the Saw movies with the girl tied up to the fucking roof and then her boyfriend and lover have to like fight over her. And yeah, it's the most unintentionally funniest scene in all of the Jigsaw movies. Spiral, I was never a fan of either. I know people enjoyed it, but it wasn't my thing. All right, let's get to Jeepers Creepers now. I really enjoy the first Jeepers Creepers. I think it's a good movie. Fritjof did a good job directing it. I love that it's just about these like twins, and they're on this like road trip back home, and then they see something they shouldn't saw, and they're getting like hunted by this creature called the Creeper, and yeah, they basically it's just like them surviving against this creature from the one night and stuff. Really good, really creepy, really unsettling. I love the two leads; they're great characters, and yeah, it's a good like monster movie. It's really good. Jeepers Creepers 2 not as good, but there's some good moments, good atmosphere, and again, there's some eerie stuff with the Creeper, which is more than I could say about Jeepers Creepers 3, which is a huge pile of ass. And in the new one that I just watched a week ago, which was an even bigger pile of ass. They just should have just stopped with the Jeepers Creepers movies. I think I predicted it. There's no S tier, anyways. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The very first one is a classic. It's a B tier for me. It's a classic. Really scary. The whole third act is really solid. I love that kind of low budget feel. It's not a movie I watch a lot though. It's not a movie that like I'm gonna throw on and the Texas Chainsaw movies were never my thing. But the first one is a good movie. And 2 and 3 almost kind of get locked in together. I always forget which one's which, but I'm gonna put them both in the C tier for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Leatherface 3. Creative, creepy stuff, pretty good scores. Just they're just okay to me though. The Next Generation though is fucking terrible with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. It almost tried to be like a dark comedy, and it was just embarrassing. And the okay, this is where I go off the rails a lot, and people are like, "Huh?" I really like the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it takes what the original does and does it better. I like the characters. I love the brutality of it. I actually think it's scary, unlike the first one. And the first one is like a classic, but I really like the remake. I don't know what it is. I really, really enjoyed it. I liked Jessica Biel in the movie and Jonathan Tucker in the movie, and yeah, I think it's the proper way to do a remake. And yeah, it's weird. The beginning was not very good though. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, just no, no. I don't care if they had Jordana Brewster. It's just, these are just trash movies. Like the fucking Texas Chainsaw 3D. What a fucking dumb movie. Leatherface, that was pretty bad too. I'll go D. And then the new one that came out this year, I turned it off after like a half hour. It was fucking garbage. So there we go. It's weird. No S tier movies. Everyone's gonna say put this in S tier. I'm gonna keep on the top with Army of Darkness and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think these are all solid films, great movies to watch during the Halloween season. For the A tier, I'm gonna keep the Evil Deads where they are. Same with Ash vs. Evil Dead, and yeah, I'm gonna keep that too. Look at that, A, B. Look at that. Keep them all together. For the C tier, I'm putting Jeepers Creepers 2 on the top. Then I Know She Did Last Summer. Then the Texas Chainsaw movie sequels. Then Saw 1, 3, and 2. For the D tier, which is mostly Saw movies. God. I'd rather watch the Texas Chainsaw movies. I'd rather watch the beginning than the Saw movies. Even Leatherface, as shit as that is. Then I guess Spiral. Then the final chapter. Then 4, 5, and 6, which all suck. Alright, these are all fucking terrible movies. These are all like between a 1 and a 4 out of 10 kind of movies. God, what the hell? I'll put the last summer movies all at the top. Then Next Generation. Then 3D, I guess. Then Jeepers Creepers 3, then the Texas Chainsaw, then Jeepers Creepers Reborn. There we go. So there you go. That was my tier ranking for this horror franchise. Look forward to I might be making a part 3 because there's other big franchises I should be ranking in the horror movies. So let me know in the comments below. What is your favorite movie out of these franchises and what is your least favorite? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.